Verstappen lapped Hamilton. Do I need it? Verstappen lapped Hamilton. I can't believe it. These two were competing for a title last season. What happened? Today on the show, we talk AFL and NRL, football, Formula One, boxing, and we see the greatest football dive of all time. Send him off, refs. Disgusting. This is $0 given. Starting things off with the AFL, and the Anzac Day honours go to Collingwood. Jack Ginnivan was the best on ground with 5 goals, and yes, of course, you already know that this meant Kane Cornes was trending on Twitter. But no, it is not as deep as we all think it is, because Kane has buried the hatchet after he went after Jack in round 1 for, filming a little bit of the post-game celebrations. But there is nothing quite like Anzac Day and having the 90,000 or so pack the MCG and all fall into dead silence for at least a minute. And if you thought I was joking about Kane trending on Twitter, then, well, there's your proof. We're starting to see the returns of more fans coming back to the footy, which is great, but that also means a surge in the level of R&M Williams sales. On the crappier side of things, we saw, unfortunately, Paddy McCartan pick up just a staggering 9th career concussion. I mean, 1 away from double digits when he's only played how many games? Paddy McCartan has played 42 games. He's played 42 games. He's averaging a concussion every 4th game. Bloody rotten luck, but in some good news, at least for the Power, they finally got on the board. Now they have finally picked up their first win of the season, and they didn't just win, they absolutely smacked West Coast. And I thought we saw Umpire Dissent jump the shark like last week when we had the arms out 50-meter debacle. But it just got a hell of a lot worse, because now you can't even indicate that the ball had touched the ground without that being considered umpire dissent as well. And you know what the name of this show is, $0 given. There are so many people in footy that can't come out and say we should be allowed to criticise umpires because it's a bad look. But it's just got to be said, and it slowly is being said, that this is just bullshit and terrible for the sport. It's turning former greats of the game like Brad Scott into just total utter hypocrites. Even Ned's very own Dylan Leach has got it spot on. We literally used to promote the game on the basis of being able to have a go at umpires. Now listen, I totally understand things like personal insults, threats of violence, or God forbid actual violence against umpires. Get rid of that, no place in the game. But I mean, just letting umpires dictate the results of games because of their fragile egos being broken because of a player disagreeing with a call is just stupid. Give me a break. Can you imagine if this happened in the AFL? They'd never let him touch grass ever again. Now, moving on to NRL, I'm sure plenty of you heard about the absolute idiot that was making noise during the minute's silence. And well, I've got to be careful about what I show here, but let's just say that he got exactly what was coming to him. God, I wish I could show the whole thing because he got rocked. It's over, Anakin. I have the high ground. He had the high ground. We continue to see the amazing consistency in refereeing, of course, as we're so used to, same different code. The Dragons got up and won on Anzac Day, so there you go, refuting the claim I made in the last episode of, being a Dragons fan this year is just pure misery. Maybe that's not the case for St. George Illawarra. We also saw the discovery of the fastest ball boy on the planet. I'm telling you, okay, Australian ball boys are unmatched. Honestly, I mean, they're either lightning quick or they're taking screamers like this. That's all I'm saying. Don't mess with Aussie ball boys. Just going back to that Storm game, by the way, 70 points. Are you kidding me? Are the Melbourne Storm just the best team of any sport in the world right now? I think they might be. They were only up by 6 points at halftime, and then they finished 16 points up. And sadly for Nathan Brown, everyone's pointing out that he has now been on the wrong end of a 70-point drumming for the 2nd time in his career, now as a coach. Oof, that one's gonna sting. In football, the Merseyside derby was played. It was a 2-0 win for Liverpool, and it was one of the most consequential derbies I think I've seen in a long time. Liverpool fighting for the Premier League title, Everton fighting just to stay in the Premier League. It's just of huge importance. I mean, Everton tried to time waste the game as much as possible. You see the absolute shenanigans here of Jordan Pickford to try to eat into the clock. But that sure as hell came back to bite him, because when Liverpool were 2-0 up at the end of the game, Alisson decided to return the favour. You had Anthony Gordon just flying around all over the place for the whole derby, and you got Naby Keita doing the Sturridge dance. And to give you an idea of just how dominant Liverpool were in the game, they set a Premier League record for possession, and Allen, an Everton midfielder, had 2 successful passes all game long, and they were both kickoffs. I mean, look at this. That is, how do you even stuff that pass up? It went 1 meter. Just to reiterate my point, have a look at Thiago. He completed 120 passes. He got 2 passes wrong. And bloody Allen got 4 passes wrong. He only completed 2. We saw some, it's got to be said, questionable defending, or at least a just total mix-up in the PSG-Lyon women's game here. Like, what are you thinking? Clear the ball, ladies. That's a Manchester United level defending right there. And speaking of which, Aaron Ten Hag. Yeah, how do you like that for a segue, not forced at all. But yes, Erik ten Hag was announced as the new gaffer of Manchester United. He'll take over at the beginning of next season, and I tell you what, if this guy can't lead Manchester United to success, and I don't know who else will, what other manager in the game has that level of tech? He's going to have his work cut out for him. Apparently, the most expensive squad in the world needs 10 new players, according to the current manager, Ralf Rangnick. Unbelievable, bro. I sure hope they give him more than just 2 years. Hopefully, they really back him and give him at least a good 4 or 5 year stint. In Germany, we saw Bayern Munich win the Bundesliga for the 10th straight time in a row. And we also saw PSG win Ligue 1 for the 10th time in their history. The greatest of all time, Leo Messi, even though his goal-scoring season hasn't been the greatest in comparison, he's still smashed home a screamer to win them the title. Whereas meanwhile for Ronaldo, it looks like he'll be playing on Thursday nights in the Europa League. Oof, it's tough. Moving on to Formula 1, and Verstappen lapped Hamilton. Verstappen lapped Hamilton. Do I need it? Verstappen lapped Hamilton. I can't believe it. These two were competing for a title last season. What happened? Hell, Hamilton's own teammate, Mr. Consistency, George Russell, even he managed P4. Hamilton could only get P14. I can't believe how finished Lewis Hamilton is. Max Verstappen has ended his career. Crazy. We saw Ricciardo and Sainz come together on lap 1, and it was, to be fair, Ricciardo's fault. Not intentional, but he went straight to the Ferrari garage just to find him and apologize, which is just, top class. Verstappen obviously ended up winning the race, so every time he finishes, he picks up 25 points, or even 26 points, because I think he got fastest lap as well. So we have got a real battle on our hands for the championship between him and Leclerc. Again, oh my God. Whoever put this graphic up, that's a violation. That's unnecessary. 77-second gap between Verstappen and Hamilton. We actually saw the return of the cool-down room, which was great, and it thankfully brought us a whole bunch of memes as well, like Ferrari did not have a good day. Oh my God, no way. Yeah, should have seen that coming as well. Yeah, Carlos was so peeved off when he got taken out of the race that he was ready to just walk into oncoming traffic. Look at the marshal. He had to give everything to stop him walking on the track. And do you know what's coming up next in Formula 1? The Miami Grand Prix, baby. Let's go. And finally, in boxing, we saw Tyson Fury take on Dillian Whyte at Wembley Stadium in a heavyweight boxing clash, and it was iconic, man. He came out in a throne and everything. The Gypsy King just getting carried out to his people. Like, bro, one of the coolest and funnest athletes on the planet. And it was no surprise either that he dispatched of Dillian Whyte in the 6th round. There was controversy over whether it was a push, but nah, he was out. Tyson Fury is really shaped like this, and he'll outbox anybody. Yeah, look at that, bro. They are some scenes right there. We actually also saw Francis Ngannou get in the ring after it, and they've started selling this like hybrid fight between the two kings of the heavyweight world in the boxing realm and in the UFC realm. I don't know how that would work, but that would be sick. Who is the baddest man on the planet? But anyway, people, it is time now for the legend of the week. Let's give it out. You know the drill. On Twitter, I ask you guys every single weekend for a legend of the week, and here's who you had to say this week. Starting things off, we've got, oh yeah, of course, Allison for, yeah, well, that was a good, worthy of a nomination. The bloke who rocked the guy at the NRL during the minute silence, yeah, like we saw. I mean, I'm super tempted to give it to him, but I don't think I can be an advocate for violence on here. I just don't. Look, I tell you what, we are not going to give him legend of the week. And no, get the graphic off. See if we can find something a little less violent. NBA security guard tackling protest. I mean, it's not as bad. But to be fair, watch this. This girl is going to run on the court. This is the security guard. She is eyeing her off, and the second she moves, bang, got her. She's not letting her get anywhere. That's impressive. She studied the film and everything, but how about this? The Storm Ball Boy. I tell you what, I do love a good ball boy video. And I tell you what, he looked like he was cruising too. I bet he didn't even break a sweat. So you know what? We're giving it to the ball boy. The legend of the week goes to the Melbourne Storm Ball Boy. I think no one can debate that. It was a pretty stacked week, but I think that's a worthy recipient. So let's leave things here. I will see you all next week, people. Until then, thank you all so much for watching. Catch you later, and bye-bye.